Step to the side, you'd better run and hide. More to the side, everybody wants to stay alive. Step to the side, you'd better run and hide. More to the side, everybody wants to stay alive.
What is your major malfunction?
Welcome to the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sunday mornings live from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific. Where spontaneous sports talk, rated R.
Don't make a fuck out of me.
Host Brandon Chabner and producer Eric the Well-Read bring you Brian from Sports Rock.
Say hello to my little friend.
And Tank's West Coast godbrother, Abe Miranda.
See the mess of the true fashion of New York.
Plus special guests, music, movie clips, comedy,
So fat, the blood type is ragu.
and always a little politics.
It comes from China.
The live call-in number is 252-585-4120. Join in the fun.
Hello.
And now, here's your host, Chab Dog.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chab Dog Sports Talk. We're on each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's business and transactional legal needs and estate planning. And also by Chab Dog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines, biting sports commentary. And this is the Strange Days of Thunder show. And we'll be talking some racing here with the Indy 500 going on as we speak. So that's always nice to have that excitement in the background. And also this is we're going to pay some tribute to our military, people that gave their lives for this country. And it's the, Memorial Day weekend, of course, and we want to celebrate that. So we got some clips from some good movies. John Wayne's going to be giving a little message here, and got a lot going on. The NBA playoffs in full swing, and we may have one of our listener callers calling in to talk some NBA smack. Who's looking good, who's not. NHL is also going on, so it's a really active, rich part of the year for sports, and I'm excited about that and glad that things are finally getting back to normal. Though there's still a little strangeness out there, so you better watch out, Eric. Be careful. I got my co-host here, Eric Sauve, at the Newport Beach Studios. Thank you for this great venue, and this will be our after next week. I'll be doing the show on my own or with Abe Miranda, but without your help. So, God willing, we'll have a show next week.
Hey, Chab Dog.
Yeah. So, thank you again for having the show in the Newport Beach Studios, and we got a lot to fit in here. A lot of stuff to talk about, to showcase, and it's a nice weekend. Got a long weekend, so we can spend it with family and watching sports, and honoring our heroes from the past. So we got a bunch of some good military clips.
Chab Dog, we got a great Memorial Day weekend show here honoring those who served and those who continue to serve our great nation here. We've got clips today from John Wayne, from the movie The Onion Field,
The
from
Duke.
Good Times. We've got Kid Blue, a movie I either hadn't heard of or forgotten about long ago, followed up by Blue Velvet. A great clip from Scarface, from the classic movie The Best Years of Our Life. Gentleman Jim, Barney Miller, They Died with Their Boots On, Sergeant York, The Stranger. And then some clips from some different Indy 500s here, just to get some racing going here, because we can't wait for Abe's segment on racing.
Yeah.
We got a big show today.
Yeah.
And an interview coming up with Abe too, because for those who don't know, Abe served in the Marines, and so to know a veteran, we got to speak to a veteran. So we're going to interview a veteran today on his experience with the Marines. So stick around; it's going to be a great show.
Do we have a leader yet in the Indy 500, or is that still in the warm-up stage?
It's at 38 minutes to the checkered flag. So,
okay.
Or the dropping of the flag, I mean.
And they're not going to have Serena Williams do the honors this year?
Yeah. I guess not. I don't know who they have there, but it's
Please.
definitely not Serena Williams.
Let's have somebody that actually wants to be there.
Well, at least knows what they're doing or is willing to pay attention to the instructions they were given or whatnot. So
Yeah.
they had a carb day on Friday, but apparently it was more of a muted affair. Do you know what I saw the attendance for the Indy? They sold out all their tickets, and it's 135,000 is what they sold.
For the actual event.
Yeah, for the event, which sounds like a lot.
But they've had 400,000.
Yeah, I was going to say that's.
Yeah.
But they're used to having crowds
Yeah.
of 450,000 there actually. So
Yeah, so that's nothing. 135, but it's still pretty good. I mean,
still pretty good. And so
I'm
they are,
still
surprisingly,
impressed.
they are still observing some control, some degree of reserve in Indiana. I thought everything was open there, but it isn't. They're controlling the crowd there at the 500 at the Carb Day. They didn't have any of the bands or any of the big events going.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still allowed you. They let you drive on the track. Could you imagine taking your Prius and driving around that track?
They'd see my Prius shaking.
I know who would love to get on their track with
I'd
their
love
car.
that.
Yeah, Abe, wouldn't you love to get your vet out on the Indy 500
Yeah.
drive the Brickyard?
Yeah, is that
Brickyard?
who's our caller here? Is this Abe or is this Drew?
This is Abe.
That's Abe.
Abe, okay.
It's a 661.
Yeah, that would be. I would like to drive Abe's car on the Indy 500 track.
I'd like to be a passenger in Abe's car while he drives it.
I just.
What do you say, Abe?
I'm down. I'm down for it. Let's do it.
Yep.
I'm always down for a good track day in the vet.
We gotta have the Chab Dog car, and I want you driving it, but I want to test it out. A lot of people are getting nervous hearing that I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah, it's not your strength. That's not your superpower.
You don't know. I could transform myself.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just go out in a blaze of glory.
That would take a huge transformation, by the way. But yes.
Yeah, I hope you appreciated some of the. Abe, I put some Indy 500 clips up on my site. I got into it last night. I started looking at some of the good finishes.
This is on Facebook, the Facebook site.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah. Of course, I'm not.
One day soon we're going to have on chabdog.com is going to have all of our social media
Yes.
that we post in various places is all going to be found. It's not there right now, but it's going to be very soon on chabdog.com. If you go there,
I hope it's sooner
we'll
than
be
later.
able to see Chabdog's Facebook post. We'll be able to see posts on the El Fuego squad coming off of Twitter and other witticisms from Abe. And we're going to see all that exciting stuff in one place and the show. And then you can hear the current week's show as well. So it's all coming up on chabdog.com. We want to welcome back Abe Miranda to the state of California. He spent a week away last week in Florida. And while we're waiting for Andrew, or Stuart Owens to call, let's get the breakdown here from Abe. Abe, how was Florida?
Oh, Florida was fantastic. I'm going to tell you, we were blown away. We had to cancel our trip last year, and this was a makeup trip of the century. Not only did we get to go on all of the theme parks, we got to go on every single ride that we wanted to go to, including Rise of the Resistance from this new Star Wars ride, the Mickey Runaway Train. We went on everything. It was nice because there was capped capacity, so you didn't need a fast pass. You could get on the rides.
Wow.
And then on Wednesday, we go to Cape Canaveral, right? And we go through the entrance, and I see this T-minus countdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what is this 3 hours and 53-minute T-minus countdown?
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that they're launching a Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket out of Cape Canaveral the very same day we're at Cape Canaveral. And then,
isn't that the coolest,
we're excited.
man?
We're losing our shit.
Uh-huh.
And then we're standing out here in the field watching a SpaceX rocket launch, which was totally we had no plan on doing. My wife had the best time of her life on that trip.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, we went to Publix, bought some Florida oranges.
Yeah.
I got a review for you. I'm going to send it to you. I know this week is kind of a busy show, but I'm going to send you my Florida Orange review at a Publix,
Yeah.
the same one that NJ Tank did a couple weeks ago in Florida.
I can't wait. We
I hope
got to
it's-
debut that
yeah,
on the
I
Chap
hope it's
Dog Show.
juicy and not. I hope it's not an 8.4.
But you got the special sauce there. You got their special sauce at Publix on that sandwich, didn't you?
Oh,
Oh my God! So,
Publix
I
is
didn't,
good.
You know, I didn't understand the whole pub sub thing. They said, and I thought pub sub was like a separate restaurant. That it wasn't actually the deli inside of Publix. So when I went into the Publix again, I was surprised. It was like, wait. Publix. I saw a huge line at the deli. Okay, and then I'm like, wait. Publix. I'm in a Publix, and that's
yeah. Why would you have a huge line in a Publix deli?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Is it that good?
And I thought to myself, okay. As I Googled it, I'm like, is Pub Sub a Publix deli? And it turns out, yes, it was. So here I am, standing in line, getting myself a great Pub Sub, great, fantastic Pub Sub. And so they have this spicy gold sauce. It's a Publix spicy gold sauce. I've never had it in my life. I said, you know what? I'm going to try this because I have never seen this. I've never tried this. And let me tell you,
So you're no raw dogging.
sauce was out of this world. It was like the Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket.
Let me guess what that was. I bet that was some kind of chipotle mayo with it's like mayo with a nice kick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that was?
I think it was more like a spicy, maybe mustard barbecue sauce. I'm not
Barbecue.
really sure, but it was
no mayo.
Barbecue.
amazing. It was amazing.
Uh-huh.
Amazing.
Wow.
What kind of sub did you have?
So they serve boarhead meat
Yeah.
in the deli, and I told the lady, I go, listen, lady, I said, this isn't the
lady.
first time I've ever had a pub sub, and I'm just going to go with a wild guess, but I'm going to go with the boarhead Italian sub. And she looks at me and she said, you, sir, made a good choice. And let me tell you, it was an amazing boarhead Italian sandwich. I mean, the bread is fresh, the ingredients are fresh, the cheese is fresh, everything is fresh, and it's just a delicious sandwich. And then on top of it all, gas is less than $3 a gallon. Okay?
Yeah.
Gas less than $3 a gallon, and I paid 7% sales tax when I was at Publix.
Yeah, that's so much better than California. We have to pay like 10% sales tax, and gas is you get fucked so many different ways here. Coming and going.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You
Yeah.
get fucked like the Dodgers is fucking L.A.
Oh,
that's how you
geez.
get fucked here.
It was more San Francisco was
I'm
doing the
sorry.
fucking there. But
I wish I could say I feel your pain, but I really don't.
every Angelino does, Chab. Like you live in an L.A. zip code.
Yeah, I'm in
So
LA
you
by
are
name.
vicariously attached. I'm sorry.
So, well, I got to get all riled up because the Dodgers are in second place or third place. I think they're in second place, so big whoop.
Third.
It's the way they lost, though, to the
I
Giants.
do think that the Padres are on fire, man.
Yeah, but they're
You
beating
better
up on
beware
Houston.
of the
They're beating up on
Padres.
Houston. Who gives a rat's ass? It's Houston.
Well, Houston's a good team.
No, they're cheaters. Last time I checked, they were cheaters.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Isn't that what they say?
That's what.
Isn't that what Belichick says?
That's Belichick's say. When we take guidance from Belichick, we know we're sunk pretty low.
Well, let's
Anyway,
see.
it's great to have
Yeah.
you back, Abe. And it was great that while you were there at the Kennedy Center, you found the lunar lander that I stood next to 46 years ago as a young man. And it was still there.
Oh yeah, and the Saturn V rockets that are just unbelievably enormous.
Yes.
I did not realize how big that thing is until you stand
It's
underneath
ginormous.
I
That's
mean-
how big it is.
it. It's huge.
Yeah, way
It's
bigger than the
huge.
ones they're shooting off.
It's the
today,
world's
way
biggest. Is it the world's biggest phallic symbol or something?
Well, it was the world's heaviest power. Well, actually, it wasn't. It was our heaviest power rocket. The Russians had a heavier one, but that's a different story.
So
theirs blew up.
Were you there in person to see this blast off, or just?
Yeah, he took films of it. He was like right there.
So I can. Where can I go to see pictures of this?
Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, can you put it on Chab Dog Sports Primetime?
I think I posted a photo or a video of it on the Facebook group,
Okay.
and I took it between two palm trees, so it looked like a field goal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
that's why I put the picture of the big W up there too from Mad World.
Oh, so it turns out you have seen it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I just have to pay more attention.
Just a little.
Well, you know me. I was looking for the picture of the W, so I got all sidetracked with that. But
I gotta admit, that's the first thing I thought of too when I saw the rocket taking off between the trees. It's mad world.
And you're kind of like Jonathan Winters there, Abe.
Yeah,
with
without
that
the
wonderland.
schizophrenia.
I'm all over the place.
God, I wish I was there with you.
How loud was it?
You know what? Surprisingly, it wasn't. I'll tell you this: it's much louder at a NASCAR race than what we heard. But you could hear. But that rumble was glorious. It was this glorious rumble that it was just. I don't even know. Words cannot describe how amazing it is to see America, the United States of America, launching rockets into space.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, it gives you a big hard on, doesn't it?
We're yeah.
Gives me a Woody.
Yes.
Things going up. That's in the right direction, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do it well. The Cape's a great spot. I'm glad you had a great time. How soon are you moving to Florida?
That's funny. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 5 years you see me in Florida, but for right now, you know what? I'm just enjoying my time here in L.A. with my Chab Dog Sports family, and we'll see. You know, I mean, we're here now, so we're just doing our thing here.
Right. And you had, like you said, you had a great time at Disney World. You were able to get in and out of whatever you wanted to go, check out.
Yeah, it's funny. It's still reduced capacity. So when are they talking, or if there is any talk about going to full capacity?
You know, I'm not really sure because, it seemed like right now, not everybody's vaccinated, and so they're still being cautious. But I will tell you one thing that was really nice. You do not have to wear a mask outside in the state of Florida.
Right.
Including Disney World.
Yeah.
Which, that was nice because it was starting to get hot, and it was nice to be walking around everywhere without a mask outside in Florida.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of what it is in most parts of California.
Did you have to wear a mask in Publix?
In the store,
Inside?
you probably do.
No.
Yes.
You did.
The store, you have to wear a mask in the Publix. Indoors, you do. But I will tell you one thing. When I was in Florida, okay, we went to a lot of places indoors, okay? And the folks in Florida are wearing their mask inside the stores.
Okay, so just like California.
So I don't really understand why Florida gets a bad rap for not wearing masks and all these other things. Because
well, they were
saw were people wearing their mask in Florida when they were supposed to wear their mask in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about this 6 months ago. Yeah, Florida was getting a bad rap, and yet Florida had way better numbers than we did, and Florida got out of lockdown like a year ago. So
yeah, they just
worked through it.
They just came to the right conclusion a little sooner than we did.
Oh, a lot sooner.
And now we're catching up. We're trying to catch up.
Yeah.
My son works in Vaughn's part-time now, and he said that they're going maskless in the stores by the middle of June.
Yeah, June 15th is the date we're supposed to go maskless indoors here in California. I guess I'm surprised to hear they're still wearing masks inside in Florida. Okay, I didn't know that. Interesting. Hence the name of this week's show, Strange Days. Are we supposed to wear a mask? Are we not supposed to wear a mask? Is this really a threat anymore? Is it not a threat? What's the deal? I'm.
Plus, you get kind of estranged from people when they're wearing a mask and you're not. Let's have everybody. I'm looking forward to everybody being able to see each other.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to people doing what they want to do. If you want to wear a mask the rest of your life, go ahead. I don't intend to, though.
I don't think there's
I
too
don't think
many
most
people.
Americans intend to.
So, well, we were going to talk about some playoff action with one of my friends who was going to call in. He has not called in yet, so I don't know if you want me to go ahead, but I can kind of bring you up to speed on what's going on.
Can we talk hockey first?
Okay, I'm always
Drew
happy
won't
to.
talk hockey, so let's talk some hockey because there was some good hockey.
Yeah, there is some good hockey. There's hockey in Florida. The Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup last year, and they're still in it.
Well, and don't forget the Hurricanes.
And that's Carolina.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you're wrong team. But
they
do have the
Hurricanes
Florida Panthers also, I think, are in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Florida Panthers beat somebody, and they're going to be – so those two teams are playing well, and the Boston Bruins won last night. They beat the New York Islanders.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll get revenge for the Pittsburgh Penguins who went down to the Islanders. And the Canadians are giving the Leafs a little bit of a fit.
Yeah, that's what I was focusing on there. I love the Leafs and the Canadians. It's a great series there. Rivalry goes back many decades, like maybe 100 years or something. Mm-hmm. Not quite that long, but almost that long.
Yeah, so they spilled syrup all over the Leafs pancakes. And
Leafs are supposed to close that series out, and Canadians
so
are like, nah.
Are you taking the Leafs in Game 7 at home?
No, I'm taking
it's going to be at
Canadians
home.
all the way. I don't care where they're playing. Canadians don't care. The Habs will crush the Leafs like they do all the time, and drink their tears of sorrow to move on.
The Leafs had a better year. They definitely had a better year.
Yeah, they're that's how the Leafs do. They win that and then they lose every. Their last cup was 1967.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with the Leafs because it's been a strange year, and I think this is the year to go with the psychological underdog against the big bad Canadians.
No, it's like taking the driver who's top in points but loses every race. That's taking the Leafs. But go ahead.
Okay,
it's
a sucker's bet.
Yeah, it's a sucker's bet. One year it's going to happen. But
and then in the West we do have the Las Vegas Knights. They're still alive. They're going to play the Avs in the next round, and the Avs are the actual odds-on favorite to win the whole thing because they've got a great offense. So, what do you think, Abe? Do you think that the Knights are going to be able to negotiate their way past the red-hot Avs? I don't think so.
Oh, that's going to be tough. That is tough. But I'll give the Minnesota Wild some credit here. I mean, they put up a good fight. Okay.
Yeah.
I think last week we talked that the Knights were just going to walk over Minnesota, but Minnesota put a really good fight in, and that's not a good sign for Vegas because now they're going to be fighting against the Avalanche.
Yeah, who had rest.
They are a much better team than the Wild. So I don't see Vegas coming out of this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like and I like Winnipeg against whoever comes out of Montreal. Toronto, I think Winnipeg's pretty darn good. They were good. They've been good for the last 2 or 3 years. So it's probably going to be the Jets against the Avs, and the winner of that will play in the Stanley Cup against the other conference. But hockey's entertaining. A lot of good teams. And, we can talk about the Dodgers if you want. I know you're all...
let's back up to Friday night, that spectacular night there where Abe was just on fire.
Yeah.
Starting the whole El Fuego thing. And
what's wrong with Bueller? Why can't he hit... is he the one that can't hit the targets?
Yeah. So essentially, you know what? I was just in the room. My wife put up the Dodger game because we didn't have a lot of channel selections, and the Mets weren't playing. So I just started watching the Dodgers, and all of a sudden, I just started commenting on Twitter, and then that just became a whole thing. Once we started doing that, and I was watching Bueller that night pitch, and it was just hilarious. It was like he was pitching, and then the pitches kept getting farther and farther away from the plate. I mean, he started throwing the pitches at the San Manuel casino ants.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm like, oh my God, Roberts is going to pull him out now. He's got to pull him out. He's throwing at the casino ants. No, he keeps them in again.
Yeah.
He keeps them in again, and he's starting to throw at the Arco signs.
Free gas.
You know,
I have to see the highlights
also,
from this. I don't know where the Arco sign is.
Gabe Kapler and the Giants. I mean, his pitchers were throwing at the fucking Arco signs. And you know what? It was terrible. I was just like commenting like, God, I don't know who's the worst manager.
Going for Arco's head.
It's just like, you keep these guys in the game or you kick them out. I mean, at what point do you kick them out? And let me tell you, Gabe Kapler, he was keeping his guys. I think he kept his pitcher to the 7th inning stretch. And I said, what, did Gabe have to stretch his brain to figure out that your pitcher's no good?
So Gabe Kapler is the pitching coach for the Dodgers?
No, he's the manager for the San Francisco Giants.
The Giants, Gabe Kapler.
Oh, okay. So why? I thought you were criticizing him.
No. They were both managers were just screwing the pooch there on Friday night. They were. I think they were brinksmen with each other because they both knew they had a weak pitcher, so they wanted to see who could hold on longer and not have to work the bullpen who could work the bullpen shorter by pulling their struggling starting pitcher. But both of them were looking crazy. Yeah, they were. The signs, they were targeting Arco's head. And they were making San Manuel Casino very, very nervous with all those pitches going by their nose.
Oh, well, it's attracting a lot of attention to them, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, San Manuel would be a
sure
wonderful sponsor for the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show.
We'd be happy to go to San Manuel Casino for a show or something.
Oh, we'd be happy to promote them to our listening audience here because Lord knows we've certainly left enough money on deposit there. We have to go back and get it one day.
Yeah.
Along with all of our listeners. It's one of our favorite banks.
That's why the Giants are good, because they got a smart Jewish manager, Gabe Kapler. Did you know he was Jewish?
Really?
Yes.
Just like Gabe Kaplan?
Just like Gabe Kaplan. It makes me think of Gabe Kaplan.
Welcome back, Cotter.
The theme of this year is going to be Welcome Back Giants.
Yeah, well.
Could be. I didn't take them seriously at the beginning of the year.
I'm still not taking them seriously
I think,
now.
It's time to recognize what's going on there. And we could have a major California war here with the Giants and the Dodgers and the Padres all contending.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that.
Well, Abe, you're not a big fan of Northern California, are you?
No. I'm not a fan of California.
Well, you live here, so be careful.
You live here, and you're a state employee, so there's some. You've got some allegiance here somehow.
I do. I mean, no, I'm not a big. I'm definitely not a big Northern California guy. I definitely love Southern California much better.
Yeah, I'm talking about the in-state rivalry, and I certainly feel it. And I've got respect for San Francisco. That's about where it ends. I mean, the North that's a different country as far as I'm concerned, and they can keep it up there.
It's north of us, but it's not the north of the state. It's more like the center of the state.
Well,
you're right. There's a great rivalry in California because there's just so many baseball teams, and California is fortunate to have so many baseball teams. And yes, absolutely. I mean, the Padres, the things that are heating up for sure are the Padre rivalry and the Giants rivalry with the Dodgers. But Oakland is doing well. I think if I was to pick a team between the Giants and Oakland, I would say I like Oakland much better than the Giants.
Oakland.
They're kind of the underdogs that need a World Series.
How about
and that's kind of where But now that we're covering the Dodgers and I'm becoming more of an Albert Pujols fan, I would say that fuck them all. Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. Well, here I want to. we want to turn and give a little shine here to the Mets because it continues to be happy days for them. So here's the Mets theme song this week.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday,
Good choice.
happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race with you. These days are all.
God, you're even singing.
You're New York Mets.
These days are all.
Sit on it.
You're New York Mets.
Black, gray sky, hello, blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. It feels so right, it can't be wrong.
Sandy
Joni.
Joni.
These days are all.
Tuesday at 8:30, I think this is on.
Tuesday 8:30. I remember.
Gonna cruise her around the town, show everybody what I found. Rock and roll with all my friends. Hoping the
This is
music
the,
never
I think this is the
Extended
first version of it. But they changed it at some point. Thank God all of these people are alive still, pretty much.
Except for
I don't know about Mr. Cunningham.
Joni's dead.
Oh, she died?
Okay, happy days for the Mets.
Yeah.
So what is going on, Abe? Tell us, why are the Mets still winning? What's going on? How's this happening?
I have no clue what the magic formula is going on with the New York Mets this season. I have no idea what's going on. I don't even think Frank knows what the hell is going on with the New York Mets. I don't even think the New York Mets know what's going on with the New York Mets this season.
I have a
I
theory.
mean,
All right, Chab Dog's theory.
Yeah, they have
what's
a picture in the locker room. It's like that movie with they have a picture in the locker room of Michael Conforto's mother, and every time they win, they get to take off a piece of clothing.
Ah.
So they have a lot of incentive to win games.
Wow.
Just like they did in that movie, remember?
They're fantastic this season. I mean, I'm telling you, I brought the Fleming curse from the New York Mets to the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, since I've been following the Dodgers, which hasn't been much, the Dodgers have been an absolute disaster, and the Mets are just keep winning. And what's helping, or at least the theory is in New York, is that we're getting a lot of doubleheaders. And it seems like the New York Mets are just a great seventh inning type of baseball club.
Oh, they can put together a win for 7 innings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of a lot of games got postponed. I mean, tons of New York Mets games got postponed this season. And so I think they're just on fire. I mean, I'm going to tell you, the last time we played buy, sell, and hold, I can tell you, I put a buy on the Mets, and I am cashing out dividends, and those dividends are going into my Florida home saving account. With what's going on at the Mets. So, they're in first place. Philadelphia and Atlanta are 3.5 games back from the New York Mets. And what's amazing is the fact that I'm saying that the New York Mets are in first place and the Dodgers are in third. That's what's amazing. Like, when did I ever think I was going to be saying that?
I think the Dodgers have a better win percentage, though.
Yeah, Dodgers have
They got the
have a
better
record.
Better record, yeah. So,
Don't get too ahead of yourself.
I mean, bear in
Mm.
mind the Mets are playing, they're playing Atlanta.
They don't have a
Atlanta
good division.
Is just missing Marcelo Ozuna.
Yeah, they just lost Ozuna for God knows how long. Did you hear about that?
He's in jail.
Is he in jail?
Yeah, he's being held in custody. He ain't getting out anytime soon. Like his career is over.
He was beating his wife. Is that what happened?
Apparently,
basically?
allegedly, and probably, certainly.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's
Yeah,
a little
I mean, that's
rough on
in
the beaver.
perspective, the NL West is just a dominating force. They are just incredible. It's going to be hard, for any team in the playoffs to compete against the West. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a tough ride.
Hey, Abe, do you prefer Heineken or Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh,
That's a
no, then
random
you're going to like
question.
this next clip.
This is lead into our racing segment.
Oh.
Is it? It is, yes.
Frank's here.
There's some hot car action in this.
Come on. I want you to meet a friend of mine. Hey, Raymond, you get enough beer for Ben, too. What kind of beer do you like? Heineken. Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Fuck that shit. I love this music.
Brought some beer? Fine. Hey. This is a fine surprise. You brought your friends. I love surprises.
Dean Stack. No.
Dean Stockwell.
Suave? God damn, you're one suave.
Frank Booth. Frank Booth.
You want some beer? Of course, Frank. Darling. Darling, could you bring some glasses? Then we'll have a beer with Frank. Thank you. Please sit down.
He's so suave.
So fucking suave.
Shit, man. How the shit are you? Fine, Frank, fine. How are you? Fucking good. I'm real fucking good.
All right, we got to jump to our segment now.
Yeah. This is IndyCar Day.
Yeah.
He's kind of driving an IndyCar, isn't he?
Here he comes, here comes Speed
It's a Le Mans
Racer.
racer.
He's a demon on wheels.
Nice.
Them all.
He's a demon and he's gonna be
A Formula
chasing
One.
after someone.
Solid.
He's gaining on you, so
No
you
open
better
wheels,
look alive. He's busy revving up the powerful Mach 5. And when the odds are against him and there's dangerous work to do, bet your life's eraser. See it through.
Into the Mediterranean.
Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go! He's up and flying as he guns a car around the track. He's jamming down the pedal like he's never coming back. Adventure's waiting just ahead. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go!
Do you know Miranda?
Do you even know the Miranda rights?
First, I have to read you the Miranda rights. You have the right to remain...
Abe Miranda.
I've never Miranda'd anyone before.
Don't give me attitude, sir.
Yeah, let's not hear any attitude because now it's time for Abe Miranda and Chab Dog Racing.
All right. Gentlemen, start your engines. This is IndyCar Day.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, so last week, happened to be at Disney World while I was watching both the Formula One race and the Circuit of America race, the Echo Park, Texas Grand Prix. And I'm going to tell you, it was a lot of fun because we were watching it from our hotel at Disney World. We were lucky enough to get an early check-in on that. So essentially, Monaco, I think we already talked about the results there, but that was Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, Carlos Sainz, and Lando Norris. Coda was, which was it was rain. There was a lot of rain. Unfortunately,
Oh, it was a shit
Martin
show.
Truex,
Abe, it was a shit
Yeah,
show. My driver got taken out.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
He just wasn't worthy.
Eric's Martin Truex Jr. got taken out of the race. He got involved in an accident. But there was a lot of rain on the track.
A lot of rain.
And it was a Grand Prix. They were sliding all over the place.
Sounds
But
like a wacky hot
unfortunately,
mess to me.
We didn't do that.
Slippery
Chad
hot.
Dog, you picked Joey Logano. He came in third.
Yeah, baby. Do I take the honors?
No, because I picked Kyle Larson and I came in second.
Oh.
Okay, well, I still showed.
Abe
I placed.
Miranda.
I showed. Eric, you were nowhere to be found.
First, I have to read you the Miranda rights. You have the right to remain...
Abe Miranda.
That's
I've
pretty
never
good, though.
Miranda'd
We got second and third.
Yes, we did.
See?
And you know what? Had Martin Truex Jr. hadn't gotten in an accident, we could have gotten a 1-2-3 here at Chad Dog Sports.
Yeah. Well, we got a chance to do it this week.
It'll happen one of these days.
Yeah.
So that's great to hear, and we got what we. So you want to keep talking about last week, or you want to talk about this week? Because we got obviously what's going on this week.
Well, we got Charlotte too.
We got the Coca-Cola 600 or 500, whatever.
Yeah, 600 from Charlotte.
Right. So that's a big one, and then of course Indy 500, and so. What do you want to tackle first?
Yeah, well, Abe, where do we start?
Let's start with the Charlotte Coca-Cola 600.
Mm-hmm.
This race is fantastic. Okay, this race is 600 miles long. It's going to start here at 3 p.m. Chad Dog time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. It's going to be held at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is a 1.5-mile long speedway, and it is going to be 400 laps. And you're going to be able to actually watch this on Fox, and you should be able to listen to it on Sirius NASCAR Radio and PRN Radio. It is, just so you know, Charlotte Motor Speedway is located in Concord, North Carolina. And this is going, and just so you know, the inaugural Cup race at Charlotte, and the first Coca-Cola 600, was ran in 1960. And the race was known as the World 600 during that time. And Hendrick Motorsports has won more races in Charlotte with 11 total, with Darrell Waltrip holding the record for the most Charlotte victories, and he has won 5 of them. So I would say that Hendrick Motorsports has a very good shot at it today.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about who is up in the lineup for today, number 1 is Kyle Larson from Hendrick Motorsports, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Elliott, William Byron, Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman, and then you've got your first kind of Joe Gibbs Racing, Martin Truex Jr. in 8th on the lineup. So with that being said, I know for me, I'm going to go with my guy from last week with Hendrick Motorsports, who has had more races there. I'm going to go with Kyle Larson for my checkered flag today.
Kyle Larson. Okay. I think this is it's Chad's week this week, and because this is an endurance race, and it's going to require, and he's not the top point scorer for nothing. He's that top. He's at the top of the leaderboard because he is consistent, and he's in for the long haul. And this will be the longest race in the whole series. So, yep, it's going to be his week.
Chad who? Chad Henne?
Mm-hmm. Chad Henne and his tutu.
who? I don't know.
Sonia Henne.
Okay, so you're going with Chad.
Chad.
Just Chad, leaving us hanging with just Chad.
Hanging Chad.
Okay. I'm going to go with Kyle, but I'm going to go with Kyle Busch. I assume he's running, right?
Yeah, I'm going to see where he's at up on the lineup right now for you. Kyle.
I think that's a nice safe pick.
20. He's number 20, but hey, you know what? A lot of things can happen in a 600-mile race.
Is it unheard of for somebody in the 20th position to win?
Well, he's number 20 on the lineup just to start the race. But as we know in NASCAR, things move around a lot. Things happen. Yellow flags come out. And it's not impossible for Kyle Busch to come back from the 20 spot to the top.
Okay.
Does not likely.
Is this the only race out there that's 600 miles as opposed to 500 or less?
I don't think there's a lot of 600 races in the schedule, and this might be the biggest one here.
Yeah, so this really is an endurance test.
Yeah, Chase Elliott, my friend. Chase Elliott. What did I say?
You said Chad.
Chad? Well, he changed his name to Chase. He was born Chad. And he changed
You've
it to
picked
Chase.
him before, haven't you?
I've picked him tons of times.
Yeah.
He's never won.
He likes to chase.
It's his week.
Okay.
Yeah, Chase. That's why he should change his name to Chad, so he doesn't. He's not accused of chasing the winner every week.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're watching Is this the Indy 500?
Yep.
And I don't know what the cars are doing. They're weaving around. Is this like
They're
warm up?
warming up their tires.
Oh, they're warming up.
Yeah, if you're
Cool.
near a TV, you can flip on NBC.
All right.
See the
Well,
live show and watch.
wow, that's a nice racing name, Will Power. Some guy named Will Power. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lee Singh.
You know, I found a great name for a race car driver when I was looking at some of these clips from past years. Called the guy's name was Scott Goodyear.
Yeah,
That's a guy named Scott Goodyear.
Yeah, Firestone, Max Power.
Was there a Firestone racer?
Jim Firestone.
So
Will Powers looks like he's in 32nd. He's number 32 on the grid.
all right, I might have
And
to.
they do have a driver in IndyCar, Simona de Silvestro.
What's that? A female driver?
Yeah, there's a female driver on IndyCar, which is Simona de Silvestro.
Now, female has never won the Indy 500, right? She never won it though. She was in it, but she never. Yeah. So that it's that hasn't happened yet. Obviously, it's a pretty white dominated sport. Though there's some. I know that some Europeans have won Indy, right? And then we had a Japanese winner. We had a Japanese.
Simona de Silvestro is actually from Switzerland. And she is actually employed, or she was employed, or she is employed by Porsche as a factory driver. That's interesting.
So she's a working girl.
Yeah.
Why don't you play that? Why don't you play that clip with the Japanese announcers?
So the one time.
Did you ever hear this, Abe? This is the Japanese announcer talking, announcing that
Takumo Sato's Indy 500 win in 2017. Check this out. Oh, they're excited.
That would make Tank proud.
I think I heard a rooster there. Talk about race fans, boy.
Yeah, that gets me into this.
Isn't that passionate?
Yeah, I like that. Well, maybe we'll have some excitement this year.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Simona de Silvestro has a nickname of Iron Maiden or the Swiss Miss.
Oh, well, yeah, that's Swiss Miss. I could have predicted that. Sometimes, you know, I watched the Cornhole Championships yesterday. There was some big thing.
You watched what?
The Cornhole Championship. Have you ever seen that?
You won't. A football game will be on, and you'll somehow miss that.
No, but
yet
this
you
was
watched
yesterday.
The
what
MFing Cornhole Championship?
What was going on yesterday? Not much. There was some basketball. It was a sleepy day in May, and
there's some soccer. Yeah.
So I was watching the college
soccer.
cornhole championship, and a woman was kicking these two women were kicking the asses of these guys. The two guys they were really good. They were nailing it every time into the hole. See, she likes it because she's from the Midwest, and it's big in the Midwest.
Yeah, they like.
My wife likes it.
In the Midwest.
My wife likes it too.
Yeah,
like you do that at barbecues and stuff.
Man, you guys are disgusting. Chab Dog, do you use Vaseline for it or not?
I don't think they put it on the board. No, but it was they have it. They know where
Abe,
exactly
you know what I'm talking about?
Put it on the
Cornhole
hit. They hit it on the board and it slides right in.
Look, this is hilarious that you're mentioning the Cornhole Championship because my
We
wife,
cover everything here.
Like, I will come in and she's watching Cornhole Championship, and it's funny because she learned how to play cornhole by watching the Cornhole Championship.
And then
when we went to Disney World or Resort, had some cornhole boards, and she was kicking my ass at cornhole.
See?
And I was thinking to myself, is this what my wife is doing when I'm at work? Is she like playing cornhole so that she can just kick my ass?
Maybe she's just giving you a subtle hint that this is how you do it.
Yeah, she's taking you to school, Abe.
Quit messing around and get it in there.
And no Vaseline.
I think maybe that's what it is. Maybe
it's a metaphor of life.
Maybe men need to work on that.
Yeah, it's a metaphor of life.
She's giving me a hint.
Yeah.
You better hope that's all she gives you.
All right. We got the top 15 here listed on the Indy has started, and VK, somebody named VK is in first place.
Yep.
And
followed by the Horta from Star Trek, and then Dixon.
The name I recognize on here is Fittipaldi, but that's probably a relative of Emerson Fittipaldi.
Tony Kanaan, who won,
and then he just dropped off.
Not last year,
Sato is 14th.
Hunter Ray is at 7.
All right, I'm going to go with
Martini and Rossi.
I'm going with
number 10.
Castroneves. That's another probably relative of one of the past IndyCar winners.
Castroneves.
But watch out for power.
You're only mentioning that name because you can pronounce it.
Castroneves. Did you see the post I did, Abe, on the IndyCar winners? Do you know who's since 1960 who's won the most IndyCar races? Indy 500s.
Actually, I think this last week I was kind of a little weak on my Facebook game simply because I was on vacation and I was just taking in the Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket. But I am doing kind of my catch up today on some of the Facebook stuff.
Yeah, well, I did something for your benefit. I put up pictures of some past winners, including we got AJ Foyt has won 4. That's pretty impressive. Rick Mears won 4. The Unsers together have won. Alan Bobby won 6, and I think Little Al won 1, and Little Bobby won 1. So together, the Unsers have won more Indy cars than the Tom Brady won Super Bowls.
Wow,
which is impressive.
That's impressive. Yeah, I did not. I did.
And Gordon Johncock won 2.
I just forgot it. Yes,
you were making fun of him. He won 2, including a very exciting one, 1982.
So there was a lot of crossover, and here is Gordon Johncock, and talking about his 1982 finish.
Good coming off of 4. So I thought, why wait? And by the time we get to turn 1, he's got a good half a car better on me, and he's going to come down. I know it, and he knows it. I know it, and he knows I know it.
And if we'd have went in the corner side by side, I wouldn't.
This was a
have
great
turned
race
into
at
him.
the end of this
Wrecked
race.
us both. Ain't no way. I'd have had to stay out, and he would have had me. Because then I would have really had to get out of the throttle the way my car was pushing. I had no choice.
Over the roar of the engine, you can hear the 400,000 people.
Jim McKay.
Going hoarse. All right, no one has ever seen this before in Indianapolis.
In turn 3, I thought I lost it on the last lap, coming for the checkered flag. I was down so low that there was a bump there that I'd never felt before. And it set my car sideways, and Rick thought I was gone too.
Johncock still with the lead. Here it comes again.
Yeah.
He's still closing. This is White. It's too late now. You only got to pray. Look at that. Here you see them. Mears. Can he make a move at the finish? He's making a move. No.
He's making a move.
Not quite. Gordon Johncock has won the Indianapolis 500. He won it by
Yeah. Gordon Johncock held on for dear life and won.
We ended up able to get back to him, and I drafted him as long as I could down the front straightaway, but I knew it was going to be short. I could tell by the distance.
Yeah, you drafted him and then just
I
slipped
pulled
him.
out.
Just ran out of time.
It looked like I I had a shot at it, if nothing else. You know, that was one of the few races that you run second and actually kind of proud of it. And then on the other hand, too, I was tickled for John Cock to win it.
Yeah, because he won 4 already, so he didn't need to win another one.
Hey, you always need to win.
It'd be great to see
He
him
couldn't.
win.
Yeah.
If he could have crossed, he would have, dude.
Never going to forget. I don't know. It kind of gives you goosebumps or something, you know, when you.
He's from Canada.
When you rewatch it, you know.
Does he sound like he's from Canada?
Well,
No.
I did it again.
Look at him. He's American. He's apple pie.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the accent kind of was sound a little Minnesotan or.
Yeah, they can sound that way in the
Mid-
Midwest. That's
okay.
Soda. Yeah, Fargoish.
Yeah.
That's how they roll.
So maybe we'll have a close one. Those are always exciting when they come down to the very end.
Mm.
Doesn't usually happen as that close. But
Hey, it's always this year.
yeah. So enjoy that, Abe. And
Who was your pick? Who was your pick on the Indy 500?
oh, I said Castroneves.
Nevis. Okay. All right.
And
I'm going to go with the guy right behind him, Marcus Ericsson.
Hmm. Okay.
well, that's a nice sounding pick. He sounds like
I think there's a little interference on my Ericsson cell phone.
Wacky Hot Mess is going with
Tony Kanaan.
Canaan, maybe because he's from the land of Canaan. I don't know.
Yeah, well, he's won before. He
oh, yes?
presents a strong challenge. Yes.
No, what? Maybe you can explain this. Why is it that when the winner at the end, the winner drinks milk? Why do they do that?
You know, I've never known.
Does that have something to do with Carb Day?
No, no, nothing to do with carburetors.
Oh,
but no, I have Abe. Do you want to join us in ignorance as well? Do you have any clue what this milk fetish is at the end of the 500?
Well, you know, I think it goes way back to like the old days, like back in the 30s, and I guess it was
It's prohibition theory. You got a theory here on prohibition?
You know what? It was kind of one of these things where back in the 30s, they thought that I think one of the what's his name? Meyer, who, you know, he's a lot like Abe Miranda. So there's a racer named Meyer. He actually happened to be born in Manhattan, but he was raised in L.A. So he's kind of like me, rooted in New York, but grew up here in L.A. And I believe that he kind of pulled up to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway victory lane, and it was like a long ass race where he had driven for like 4 or 5 hours, something like that, and it was like a warm day in May, like today, actually just like today. And I think he thought, I think he had this idea of like buttermilk, where he felt like he needed some nourishment and some refreshment, and so he was tired. Of course, it was a long race, and I think he took the opportunity there to drink some milk, get some buttermilk in, because I think he was thirsty. He thought it gave him some nutrients. He was fatigued, and then it just went from there.
I never thought you'd bail us out that way.
You don't drink.
The great Abe Miranda. Yeah, he knows the story.
I don't know, man. You don't
He
drink.
knows the story
You don't
behind the
drink.
story.
You don't drink buttermilk for the hell of it. That's not very good to drink.
On the contrary, it's very and
Buttermilk?
especially back then, that was like eating granola. It's like
I'll
health
put that
conscious
on my
food was
pancakes,
drinking,
but that's about
buttermilk. Oh no way! Buttermilk was like the big health food back then. Wow.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that. Some crazy story.
Oh yeah. No, Abe's got it down.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, that's very impressive, Abe.
So I see Ericsson's number 9, and my Castroneves is 5. He just passed Kanan.
And I'm. Did I say who I was taking?
I don't know who you said, but
I'm taking Martini and Rossi. He's now at number 10.
Number 10. Okay, you got somebody in the top 10 at least.
Yeah, Martini and Rossi.
And watch,
it's early, man. We're lap 17 of 200. Rossi's going to make his move, you know. Maybe around like lap
right now we're watching a guy in a pink car. Did you notice that? His car's pink.
Yeah, fuchsia pink. Yeah, it's pretty pink. Let's get a ruling here from Wacky Hot Mess. Is that
salmon color?
Is that pink? Hot pink. We got a hot pink from the lady. Okay.
I just looked it up. His name was Lewis Meyer. Lewis Meyer.
Oh, that's your car. You're Castaneda. So you Chab Dog's driver's
I've got
a pink car.
Oh, this is Helio.
Yeah.
He's won it before.
Helio Castro.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, 3-time champion. Wow. He's going for number 4.
Yeah, Martini and Rossi's got something
I like
to say
this
about
guy.
That. Don't worry about that. Yeah, he's not going to last.
He's from Brazil. He's from Brazil, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he's got some attractive fans.
They like to do the what's that dance they do down there? They get the big lineup going. They go in a conga line.
A convoy?
But in Brazil for Carnival, they get in the conga line. I guess it is a conga line. Yeah, they all grab each other's hips and dance back and forth.
We got to go to Brazil for a little.
Have furious passion.
We got to have a conjugal visit in Brazil.
It's all about that. Yeah, they're very free down there. Well, we're hitting the
all right.
Here.
So do we hit the 10 o'clock hour?
We hit the 10.
We got kind of lost in the IndyCar race, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wow. I hope we can. We might have trouble getting off of this because it's kind of hypnotizing.
It is. Yeah, they keep going around corners. But we'll somehow get back here at the second half. Chab Dog Sports Talk Show.
We got a lot planned for the second half.
A lot planned.
More Memorial Day stuff, and so stay tuned. Let's go to the clips. Little John Wayne maybe and Onion Field. I don't know.
Coming right up on Chab Dog Sports Talk Show.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
Set to the side, you'd better.
You should never argue with a crazy mama. You ought to know by now. You should never argue with a crazy mama. Is that all you get for your money?
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chab Dog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
Okay, Billy. This is the job I cased. Now's your chance to get back the money you stole from me. And you better get it.
Greg, I swear I didn't steal no money, man.
Okay, just go in there and get me at least $50 and maybe you'll prove to me that you didn't do what I know that you did. It's the last night for old Billy. I gotta cut him loose, Jimbo. He drinks too much. I think after tonight, it's gonna be you who's a part of our little family.
Can't do it, Greg. Them guys in the liquor store knows me.
What?
He knows me, Greg. Guy we used to work at the shine parlor there on East 5th Street.
You lying, thieving.
Jimmy, tell him, Jimmy. Guy named Hellfire Jack, ain't that right, Jimmy? Jimmy?
When we drove by, I did think I saw a Hellfire Jack, Greg. I think it's Hellfire Jack in there.
See, I told you. Used to work with old smooth move over there on East 5th Street. Used to always be...
It's the truth, Greg. He used to work in the process parlor over there.
I thought you said a shine parlor, Billy.
Process parlor, man. He did my hair.
He said a process parlor.
Ah, fuck it. Do it myself.
Yeah, you go ahead on and do it, Greg. I help Jimmy drive.
Jimmy, I use this little hop, skip, jump, which moves me fast. Moreover, it isn't noticeable to someone passing by like running would be. When you see me skip, start this baby moving.
Skip it, jump. Ha! Like a goddamn kangaroo jumping around out there. All this funny talk. Furthermore, wherefore. Don't give me any more furthermore or whereover, any more of that funky-ass bullshit.
Greg said he was paroled out of Vacaville. That's a nut jail.
Let it go, Jimbo.
God damn it, let the clutch out.
Did, Greg? It ain't going nowhere.
I let the goddamn clutch all the way out. All the way out. Now you roll.
Somebody's shooting at us.
Oh, no. I'll be hit.
God damn it, you'd know if we were hit. Jimmy, let's go. Must be over $300 here.
Up for season.
On whole wheat, without any mustard.
Ham and cheese, Doc. Save the mustard. Coming up. Here you are. Hello, Homer.
Hi, Fred.
How have you been? Glad to see you.
Say, Fred,
Yeah?
what happened at Butcher's?
What do you mean?
I mean, you and Al. Was there any trouble?
Oh, no, we were just having a little friendly chat.
There you are, sir. Thanks. What'll yours be, Homer?
Oh, I don't care. Give me a chocolate sundae.
Okay.
Hi,
How are you, soldier?
sailor.
Excuse me. Say, you mind if I ask you a personal question?
I know what it is. How did I get these hooks and how do they work? That's what everybody says when they start off. Do you mind if I ask you a personal question? Well, I'll tell you. I got sick and tired of that old pair of hands I had. You know, an awful lot of trouble washing them and manicuring my nails. So I trade them in for a pair of these latest models. They work by radar. Look. Pretty cute, eh?
You got plenty of guts. It's terrible when you see a guy like you that had to sacrifice himself. And for what?
And for what? I don't get you, mister.
Anything else for you?
Check. We let ourselves get sold down the river. We were pushed into war.
Sure, by the Japs and the Nazis, so we had...
Oh, the Germans and the Japs had nothing against us. They just wanted to fight the Limeys and the Reds. And they would have whipped them, too. We didn't get deceived into it by a bunch of radicals in Washington.
What are you talking about?
We fought the wrong people, that's all. Just read the facts, my friend. Find out for yourself why you had to lose your hands. And then go out and do something about it.
You better pay your check, brother, and go home.
Well, who do you think you are?
Pay the cashier right over there.
Coffee, please.
Yes, ma'am. And that's another thing. Every soda jerk in this country's got an idea he's somebody.
That was a nasty thing to say.
Well, he's getting kicked out for unpopular political views.
Look here, mister. What are you selling anyway?
I'm not selling anything but plain old-fashioned Americanism.
Some Americanism. So we're all a bunch of suckers, eh? So we should have been on the side of the Japs and the Nazis, eh?
Again, I say, just look at the facts.
I've seen a couple of facts. I've seen a ship go down and over 400 of my shipmates went with it. Were those guys suckers?
That's the unpleasant truth.
They're gaining
and the
on
sooner
him.
we get wise to it, the better off we're going to...
If
We live?
I only had my hands.
You put those down!
Take your hands off of it.
Well, to say hello to him.
Go get the drugs. What happened? It was Fred Derry.
Oh, a pit stop. I love watching this. Look at the pit stop.
Don't say it, chum.
That was fast.
The customer's always right, so I'm fired. But this customer wasn't right. I'll meet you outside in a minute, kid.
This one's a little slower.
That was a clip from the best years of our lives coming out of the break, and we're back. The Chap Dog Sports Talk Radio Show with a guest.
Another caller, and this is a familiar sound, and welcome back, Brian Keller from Sports Rock. How are you doing, Brian?
Hello, gentlemen. I'm doing all right.
You all right? You enjoying your Memorial Day weekend? Maybe watching some racing here? We're watching the Indy 500.
Look, somebody crashed in the pit.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, I was enjoying the weekend. I hadn't even turned the TV on yet.
Oh, wow.
I was watching some basketball the last couple of days, though.
Oh, yeah. Which game were you watching? Which games?
Let's see. I saw the what was that? I saw the Milwaukee game.
Oh, yeah. Milwaukee destroyed the Heat. Yeah.
The Heat were in heat.
They got revenge on the Heat.
The Heat was too busy trying to hump on Milwaukee's leg, but it didn't work.
They
got a wipeout in the pit. He hit the wall.
Oh.
We're just watching a replay here.
Some of the
that better not be Martini and Rossi.
Celtics game.
The Celtics had a great win against the Nets on Friday night. That was epic, you know?
Yeah.
They had to have that win.
They had to have that.
And they
still
almost
doesn't look good for them.
No, I don't think they're going to win that series, but they're probably going to win another game. It'll probably go 6 or something, but they're just undermanned. They don't have one of their best players, and Nets are just loaded. Did you see the Memphis Utah game last night?
No, I didn't catch that one.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, Utah gutted that out. Memphis was playing well and pushing them, but Utah actually has a pretty good team this year, and that they could give the Lakers some trouble. Yeah, they got a little of everything. They got a bunch of good players, so it's not like they got one or two options scoring. They got more than that.
Don't worry, the Suns are going to come back and knock out.
You think the Suns are going to beat the Lakers?
No, but I just like the words coming out of my mouth.
I think it's just words. I don't think the Suns have the size to deal with the Lakers.
No.
I don't know what to make of the Clippers.
Oh, they're a wacky hot mess. I keep saying that, but the Clippers are just sloppy.
They are the wacky hot mess.
Not to be trusted. So if you want to bet on the Clippers, go ahead, but be my guest. The other team that's looking good is the Sixers. They destroyed the Bullets, the Wizards. And I just don't know if I can believe that that's going to last, but Embiid had a great game.
Mm-hmm.
He had like 40 points almost, and it was just doing everything he wanted. So NBA is kind of interesting. What about the hockey? Who do you like in the hockey, Brian?
Oh, I don't like the Bruins, actually.
Nice. I think he's just saying that to humor me, because
he was listening to the first hour.
He knows I'm a Bruins fan.
He's working on it.
But they do look good. I mean, they look like they're back to the form they had when they went to the finals against the Blues. I mean, They got that. They got their Pasternak, Bergeron, Krejci are playing well, and they got some good goaltending, and they're playing physical. I think the Islanders are a little bit winded from that skirmish they had with the Penguins. So I don't know. Tampa Bay is always to be feared, but they're going to have a struggle. They're going to have to get by the Panthers, right?
Yeah.
Or is it the Hurricanes?
I don't know. I just
the
always
Hurricanes.
liked Boston's
Hurricanes.
From, back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's good to have you on. This is Memorial Day, so
yeah, we're going to do our tribute to our servicemen and women, those who have served and those that continue to serve.
Did you play the John Wayne clip?
Well, we're going to open it with the John Wayne clip here. So let's just
and then we'll
American opportunity has no limits. Has been known to knock more than once. How about you very young people who see a tough life ahead? Well, when Lee surrendered to Grant at Appomattox, Booker T. Washington was a 9-year-old slave. Yet by the time he was 28, he became president of Tuskegee Institute. And at 8 months, Neil Armstrong took his first small baby step toward mankind and fell flat on his face. At 6 years old, Mickey Mantle was settling for a base on balls. At 7, Wilt Chamberlain nailed a practice hoop over his garage without a ladder. And at 8, Charles Lindbergh was flying a kite wondering how it'd feel to be up that high. At 9, Burt Bacharach was thinking the piano lessons would never end. How many of you are pushing 50 and complaining that the country is going to hell? Crispus Attucks was in his 40s when he died on State Street in Boston, fighting for the freedom that we share. And John F. Kennedy was 44 when he asked not what his country could do for him, but what he could do for his country. And how many of you over 65 are just settling down now to rest after a busy life? Well, a fellow by the name of Eisenhower, who had already lived one lifetime as a soldier, was reelected to the presidency when he was 67 years young. Well, by now I've made my point, or I never will. Oh, there's one other thing. Every man and woman or child I've ever known, met, seen, or heard of wants one thing more than anything else in the world. That one thing is tomorrow. Tomorrow, that's the only thing any of us have going for us. And I believe this. If tomorrow, all of us, every single one of us gets out of bed and says, this is my country, and I'm going to do good for it, we'll make the greatest step forward since a pilgrim's foot found Plymouth Rock. Tomorrow, remember, this is my country, and I'm going to do good for it. Just might work. We'll never know unless we give it a fair try. Oh, yeah, and there's one other thing I'll say tomorrow, because I say it every day of my life. God bless America.
Very inspiring words from John Wayne himself.
Yes.
Very inspiring.
Everybody, can take that to heart. It's good. It's a good suggestion. Here on the positive message on Memorial Day.
Eve of Memorial Day, we'd like to get a better understanding of our veterans by speaking to a veteran himself. And I want to call forward Abe Miranda, Marine. How you doing today, Abe? That's Abe Miranda.
Is he here?
Calling Abe.
Yep. I'm here. Here I am.
Thank you, sir.
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Ready to go.
Thank you. Now, Abe, I happen to know that your father and your godfather were both in the Air Force. So, what made you choose the Marines instead?
Well, that's very interesting, but my dad was in the Air Force. My godfather, which is Frank's dad, he was in the Air Force. But my grandfather happened to be in the Marines. And he was actually in the Marines. I want to say he was in the Marines in the last part of World War II. But he was in he was based out of California. He was in California, but he was in the supply depots here in World War II.
So you are a legacy. So you're okay. So that's what drove you to choose the Marines. Interesting.
And I was like, I had grown up with, of course, with my dad in the Air Force and experiencing the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one of those things where sometimes you want to try to create your own legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than following my dad's legacy, I said, you know what? Let me cut my own path, and so I joined the Marine Corps. And
well, of course.
And I'm going to tell you that was probably the best thing I have ever done in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see when I took a look at your car and saw how pristine it was. I said, that's a Marine right there. That guy is well organized,
proper.
He's got his shit wired tight, and the Marines are in his genes.
But as a young man, so how old were you when you were inducted?
Actually, I was 21 at the time.
Okay.
When I first joined the Marines, so I was a little bit of a late bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, after high school, I actually started college. I went to Glendale Community College, and I had finished up my associate's degree. And so it was right after there was this period between when I graduated and I didn't quite know what I was going to do. I wasn't really interested in finishing up my 4th year at the time. I was kind of in this funky place, and so I came in with an associate's degree, which gave me a little bit of a bump in rank when I first started. So rather than coming out of boot camp as a private, I came out as a private first class.
Nice. And where did you train?
Okay, so I trained at Marine Corps San Diego, the recruit depot in San Diego. In the Marines, those are called Hollywood Marines.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of one of these things where if you get recruited, I think like west of the Mississippi, you go to Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, and then if you go to and on the other side, you go to Camp Lejeune.
Camp Lejeune, where's that?
It was like the Carolina, I think.
In the Carolinas?
I think it's somewhere else.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
It's on the
Cape Hatteras,
I believe.
I don't know.
Is it mosquito ridden? I bet she has lots of mosquitoes and black flies.
Yeah, it's in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Jacksonville, okay. North Carolina, okay. Wow, so you trained down in San Diego. How long did basic training last?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, in the Marine Corps, we truly have the longest boot camp ever.
Really?
Okay, it's 13 weeks of boot camp.
13 weeks, wow.
It's 13 weeks of boot camp.
I was going to say 6 weeks.
It's not done yet. It's not done after 13 weeks because every Marine is a rifleman. Every Marine is an infantry guy. So the way it works is you go 13 weeks to basic training. And then afterwards, you go to 3 more weeks, depending of your MOS, depending on the job that you chose. So let's say, like me, I chose to be a forward observer in artillery. So I have to go to a 3-week infantry school called Marine Corps Combat Training. So I was there for 3 additional weeks after my 13-week of boot camp. Now, if you go into the infantry, if you have any of the infantry MOSs, after boot camp, you go straight into infantry school, and you don't have to go through what we call like the 3-week crash course. And there's a nickname for that. It is very interesting. So if you're an infantry guy, you're called a grunt in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I've heard that. Grunts.
Right? If you are not in the infantry and you go to the crash course that I went to, they call you a POG. P-O-G, POG. And that means people other than grunts.
Oh. Okay. That's very descriptive.
I would
grunts and then there's the rest of
it. I would call that a POG.
So
But,
you were a pogue
It's
then.
not unusual to be walking around Camp Pendleton during that training phase and somebody calling you a fucking pogue.
Oh.
So there's that kind of rivalry between infantry and everybody else. And let me tell you, honestly, I give them the respect. Okay, I give them the respect because infantry, that is just tough. It is tough. I mean, you're doing humps, what we call, the hikes. We call them humps in the Marine Corps. You are doing hikes or humps forever, and you are just doing nothing but grueling work. And I have tremendous respect for the infantry units, the recon units, and all the badass motherfuckers in the Marine Corps, because they are just tough dudes. And look, I'm a little guy, and I struggled in the Marine Corps. I'm gonna be honest, I just struggled in the Marine Corps because I'm little. I'm like 5'6", and a little change, and
5'6". Gee, I thought you were tall.
I'm not the stockiest dude,
Uh-huh.
and I struggled, and I'm glad I struggled.
But you got through it.
It made me appreciate the people in the armed forces.
Yes.
You got through it, though. You did it.
Well, you may not have been a grunt. You were a pogue, but tell me, what was the hardest, most challenging part? What challenged you the most about getting through being a pogue, becoming a pogue?
Well, I will say that one of the hardest things that you ever do is having to leave your home to go to Iraq. That is a very difficult thing. Of course, in training, we have this thing called the Crucible, which is like a 3-day, just nonstop. It's like you living in the field for 3 days, doing nothing but exercises, and then you top it off with this like 18-mile hump or something like that, some crazy hump where you just go to the top of this mountain at Camp Pendleton, and that's kind of where you're knighted as a Marine. And if you get through the Crucible, you usually end up going back to your squad bay, and they actually let you sleep. They let you to go to the cafeteria to have breakfast, and I think they only give you like 3 MREs for the entire 3 days. And this is boot camp.
Wow.
Okay, this is boot camp. Okay, and let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you the interesting thing. When you're done with the hump, you're really excited about having some breakfast, but what you don't realize is that your stomach is the size of a peanut because all you had was 3 MREs for 3 days, and when you're eating, let's just say you can't eat a lot. You really can't eat a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of guys tend to overeat a lot, and you tend to see a lot of recruits in the bathroom after that hump. Fortunately for me, I had some restraint, and I didn't feel really good, but I ended up having a good sleep that day.
And speaking of the food, in general, how is the food in the service?
Well, when you say service, we got to break it up.
Okay.
If you're in the Air Force, the food is amazing.
Really?
If you're in the Marine Corps, the food is going to be not as amazing as everybody else. You know, a lot of times, because we are in the field, because we're working out in some remote locations, sometimes an MRE is going to be as good as it gets. When I was in Iraq, I had to guard a water pump that was 3 miles away from Camp Fallujah, which was our military base at the time.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there were just boxes and boxes and boxes of MREs. And we lived there for 2 weeks. We had like towers on each side. We had, the whole thing was sandbagged all around. We were living inside this very protected area. And all we had were MREs for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I eat MREs all the time for dinner. TV dinners?
2 weeks. Yeah, I don't think that's the same thing, Chad.
I know it's not.
I don't
the
think
same.
Swanson's makes the MREs for the
Boston
Marines
Market.
Boston Market. Yeah,
Good.
Imagine if they were. Oh, you poor.
But it's all relative. If you're really hungry, you eat it.
You do, but just look what they're consuming. What's in an or which? Did you have any choice as to the MRE, or was it the same one every day?
No, it comes. The boxes come in like a variety.
Okay.
So there's different things like beef stew and jambalaya, and there's just a variety of MREs. So you kind of have to like shuffle through the box and try to find the ones that you like. I always like the beef stew ones.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is, and I'm going to tell you something really funny about that adventure, was that we would have, because there was a lot of Hispanic folks in my unit.
Uh-huh.
We would have our family members mail us bottles of Tapatio sauce, and I no kidding, Tapatio sauce had more value than money.
Yeah.
When we were in Iraq.
Yeah.
Tapatio is amazing.
People were playing poker, and there was money. There were bottles of Tapatio sauce.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
You just chug it.
Yeah.
Oh, you put it on everything too. It tastes great. You know,
yeah.
I just had some yesterday with some sour cream.
Very, very nutritional.
It is.
Yeah.
Cayenne pepper cures everything.
Yeah. Well, I admire you for getting through that. I would find it a challenge just to get through the part making your bed and keeping your shoes shined and keeping the locker in order.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely the guy that the general would pick on with the messy stuff, and I don't think I'd last a minute in there.
Well, I've got one final question for you,
Mm-hmm.
Abe, and that is obviously coming from a military family. You had thoughts about the Constitution before. Did they change at all now that you've come out the other side, or are they about the same?
No, absolutely. I mean, when you are in the military, okay, every single word has meaning. And I'm talking about soul-reaching meaning. You know, I've gone to other countries. I've been shipped off to war. And when you come back to the United States, you appreciate what's written on the Constitution, because you realize that we are not playing, the world is not playing on the same football field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Everybody is of course under their constitutions.
Mm-hmm.
And the greatest thing that a service member can feel is coming off the plane and stepping foot on the United States of America and knowing that you're living, you're breathing, and you're touching the United States Constitution because you swore an oath to fight for it. Okay, that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
People who are not in the military read the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
People who are in the military are fighting for the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
We are literally fighting for the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
We are taking bullets. We are having mortars dropped on our fucking heads
Mm-hmm.
for the U.S. Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
We fight for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just like John Wayne fought for us in the sands of Iwo Jima.
Yeah, here's a fitting
It's a
John
good,
Wayne
let's
tribute.
go out with this clip.
Well, what do you know? Stryker.
Hello, Thomas.
Stryker.
Thought you were in the first.
I was. Sit down. Just sit down, Thomas, anywhere. My name is Stryker. Sergeant John M. Stryker. You're going to be my squad. A rifle squad. 3 of us have seen action. Corporal Dunn, Charlie Bass, and myself. You're going to learn from us. In boot camp, you learned out of a book. Out here, you got to remember the book and learn 1,000 things that have never been printed, probably never will be. You got to learn right, and you got to learn fast. And any man that doesn't want to cooperate, I'll make him wish he hadn't been born. Before I'm through with you, you're going to move like one man and think like one man. If you don't, you'll be dead. Now, you guys have had a nice, easy day. I hope you enjoyed it, because it's the last one you're going to get for a long time. You joined the Marines because you wanted to fight. Well, you're going to get your chance. And I'm here to see that you know how. If I can't teach you one way, I'll teach you another. But I'm going to get the job done. The skipper of this outfit is Captain Joyce. Platoon leader is Lieutenant Baker. Platoon sergeant, Sergeant Wright. Any questions? That's all. Ready, Shipley?
Yeah, just a minute.
Hey, what's the matter?
Nothing.
Eddie didn't feel strip his M1 blindfolded fast enough to suit Stryker, so he turned him into the skipper. And they canceled Eddie's liberty. Perhaps our rough, tough sergeant with a heart of gold hasn't got a heart of gold after all. But he certainly is.
Oops.
You talk too much. You think I restricted Flynn for my own amusement?
I think your punishment's unreasonable. To cancel a man's first liberty after so many months for a minor mistake.
I'm going to tell you something, Conway. I'm going to tell all of you. I'm going to make it nice and simple so you'll all understand it. They handed me you guys as a present, a regular Easter basket. And they told me to get you into some kind of shape so you could handle a little piece of this war. And that's what I'm going to do. And that means I'm going to tell you what to do every day and every minute of every day. I'm going to tell you how to button your buttons. I'll even tell you when to blow your noses. And if you do something I don't like, I'm going to jump. And when I land, it'll hurt. I'm going to ride you till you can't stand up. But when you do stand up, you're going to be Marines. Flynn stays here.
Ooh.
Great John Wayne as
Laid
a
down
great
the
Marine.
law.
Yes. See, you're quaking in your boots there, Chabdog.
Yeah.
Did you have any drill sergeants, any influences like that along the way, Abe? That's Abe Miranda?
Yes, the drill instructors are the crumb of the crop. They're just glorious bastards. They're like, they could kill somebody just with a look, and like their pressed shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are literally just amazing. They look amazing. They scream at you, and yet, and let me tell you, every bone in your body and every muscle in your body puckers up when they talk to you, because they're just badass. They're badass. And you know, when I was in boot camp, I didn't really appreciate it because it was like you're getting your ass kicked all day. But after I graduated boot camp, I realized these fucking dudes are monsters. They're beasts, and America should be happy knowing that there are people like that who are training Marines and getting them ready for the shit that they're about to walk into, because it's not peaches and roses when you get out into the real world. And that's what the drill instructors have to try to get you accustomed to, and that's why at the time it didn't make sense, but after I went to Iraq and I came back, I realized that everything that they told me was for my survival, was for me to stay alive, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what Patton said in the movie where he said, I don't want to celebrate a lot of people dying for this country. I want us to survive. I want us to win the war and be alive at the end.
You know, let the other guy die first.
Let the other guy die first, basically.
Die for his country. Yeah.
If they had more football coaches like that, I wonder what it would be like. Because we used to have people like Vince Lombardi who kicked a lot of ass.
A lot of people who went through the war.
And we don't really have football coaches like that anymore.
No, we don't.
Brian, are you still listening? Do you have any views on this? Like, do you think those kinds of coaches would do well in this day and age? Not sure.
Yeah, I suppose. To an extent.
We don't have a lot of. I don't know if it would work in the NBA too well. Those guys don't seem to like to take a lot of orders.
No, college style coaching is over in the NBA now.
Bob Knight's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Well, he's fine in college, but not in the pros.
Yeah, can you imagine him in pros? That would be like
chairs.
That'd be like a lawsuit happening every other day.
Yeah, it won't take much to. It don't take too much for discipline and stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, we appreciate those insights into what that type of life's like, Abe.
Yeah, especially because these are things that aren't talked about every day, and things that are certainly I've always wondered myself. So thank you very much, Abe, for sharing this and helping enlighten me and all of our listeners.
So, Brian, what's going on in sports with Sports Rock? Anything you want to tell us about that site that's changed since we last had you on?
No, it's still the same. They got some regular folks sharing things on there, and they got birthdays and stuff like that. One of my buddies put stuff. There's one I saw today. It's kind of interesting. It's someone named Mike Donlin.
Who?
The outfield was also an actor.
Oh.
Back in the early days. It's 1899 to 1914. A lot of trouble with attitude, alcohol, and his acting career got in his way.
What was his name?
Only played 5.
What was his name?
Mike Donlin.
Mike Donlin. I don't remember him. So what was he?
He only played like 100 games 5 times in 12 seasons. One time he actually spent 6 months in prison for an alcohol-related.
Oh, so he was a bad boy.
Instead, he's a bad boy. And, he was part of the 1905 Giants World Series champions. And he had a career 333 batting average.
Oh.
1,049 games. He just makes the cutoff of 1,000 games played. So he's like 28th all time batting average.
But he's not. He doesn't make the Hall of Fame, does he? Did he?
Probably not. His numbers, no.
No.
His numbers just don't support that, really. I mean, the 333 is great. They only played 1,049 games. They played 5 seasons, more than 100 games. They only played 2 full seasons in its entirety.
Was he one of those?
Like 543 RBIs, 51 homers.
Was he one of those fast guys? Did he have a lot of stolen bases?
213 stolen bases.
Yeah. That's not bad. Probably a lot
of those.
Yeah.
Good. He's finished in the top 10 in almost every season in the major statistics. Even the seasons he only played 60, 70 games, he managed to be in the top 10 in a lot of categories.
Mm-hmm. So he's quality over quantity, but that's not usually rewarded with a Hall of Fame appearance. Yeah.
Says he was called Turkey Mike because he had a unique strut when he walked to first base.
Turkey Mike.
He had an entertaining personality, a flamboyant style of dress.
Yeah.
Prodigious talent.
I bet you he got hit by a lot of balls. Is there a percentage for that? How many times he was struck by a pitch? For walking turkey leg to first base and dressing flamboyantly.
I can't even imagine what that looks like.
I could just see Ty Cobb just like taking his head off every time he's at bat.
Yeah.
Well, he did get hit 20 times during his career.
Yeah.
Another guy that had a really high average but he didn't have a ton of plate appearances and hits was John McGraw. But he made the Hall of Fame because of his coaching. But his average was like 333.
You remember his cellular? Didn't he have cell phones? McGraw Cellular?
No.
Is that a reach jab, Doc?
You're just pulling McGraw's out of your ass.
Is this a reach around?
This has no relationship to Tug McGraw or Quick Draw McGraw or Allie McGraw. This is just John McGraw. Muggsy McGraw was his nickname.
Is this a reach around?
And he was a fiery guy, right? He would light into those players that he coached, and he was a badass.
But Chab Dog, is this a reach around?
A reach around, yeah.
I bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
That's Gunny.
Sergeant Hartman, right?
Talking about Marines, he was.
So,
it scared the shit out of me too.
Brian, you're a trivia guy. Who's the guy that has the record? And this is not a random question because I'll explain in a second. Who's the guy that had the record for the single season most block shots in a single season in the NBA?
most buck shots in a single. It would be Mr. Mark Eaton.
Right. The mountain man.
You could make that out. What did he say?
Mark Eaton.
Mark Eaton. Okay, that is correct.
Yeah.
The guy just passed away.
And he just passed away. Yeah. Did you know about that?
Oh yeah, what a shame.
I remember he was a real bad boy, and the Laker fans weren't too fond of him.
He was a what?
The Laker fans weren't too fond of him.
Why?
Laker fans weren't too fond of him, I remember back in the day.
Because he guarded Kareem pretty good, right? He was about the same size and had those long arms.
He was in Kareem's face, yeah.
Yeah, I posted a picture of that of him guarding Kareem, and Kareem kind of looked annoyed. I'm like, what's going on here? Somebody can actually look me in the eye and guard me. Yeah, his heyday was the mid '80s when Kareem was doing a lot of damage with those great Laker teams, and Mark Eaton was always there to make them work. You know what Mark Eaton's job was before he got discovered in the NBA? Before he went into the NBA, do you know what he was doing?
He was an elevator operator in a department store.
No, no, he wasn't on the Addams Family doubling as Lurch. He was actually an auto mechanic.
Okay,
imagine him under a car.
Kinda, get up high.
He made a name for himself in Southern California there at Cypress College, the junior college.
Yes, he went to junior college.
Oh, that's right around the block. Yeah,
he was everything in the state. Made a lot of sports headlines locally.
Yeah, so he passed away, unfortunately, bicycle accident. They found him unconscious in the road or something, and then they got him to the hospital, but he died in the hospital shortly afterwards.
Was it in Los Angeles? Was it in Utah? Do you know the location?
I think it was. I don't.
It was in Utah somewhere.
Utah.
Yeah. That's weird because that happened to a friend of mine, a buddy of mine's brother. Got kind of hit and run. I thought that was a hit and run, but basically found by the side of the road.
Yeah.
By a car.
You better wear that helmet. And I go on biking. I do biking, and you got to be careful. So that's too bad. And well, where do you want to go with our next clip, Eric?
I'm just
we
looking
could go
at that.
anywhere with
here.
that.
I keep looking at this, thinking, yep.
Oh, this is
the best scene from Scarface?
Yeah.
So why don't we split the risk? You guarantee your delivery, say as far as Panama. We take it from there.
Panama, it's risky. Costs me more. Panama I can sell for 13.5 a key.
13.5? What are you, nuts? 13.5? We still gotta take that shit to Florida, man. Do you know what that's like these days? You got the fucking Navy all over the place.
You got the
You
Marines.
got frogmen.
Welcome.
You got EC2s with the satellite tracking
You
shit.
got Ed Miranda.
You got the fucking Bell 209 assault choppers up the ass, man. Do you know we're losing
You got
one
Disney
out of every
World.
9 lows. That's no duck walk anymore.
Cornhole.
Let me tell you.
Cornhole.
You got the
Forget
cornhole
about
championships.
That's cool.
Well, what do you suggest? It is reasonable. Excuse me. One moment.
This is right before F. Murray Abraham got thrown out of the helicopter.
I thought he fell
What's the
out.
matter with you? You negotiated
Didn't
with
fall
Frank
back.
Lopez? Is that what
Don't
you
worry
did?
about it, man.
The F stands for
I'm
falling
not
from
worried
1,000 feet.
You should worry about it. If he wants to make a deal, it's up to him, not you. We're gonna do this one deal, that's it.
Okay, fuck you. How's that?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
No,
You need to
fuck
open your eyes and keep
you.
your mouth shut. That's it, let it go at that.
Don't worry about it, okay?
Wait till you get back. Your head is in the wrong place. You got to watch out for yourself. Why don't you talk to him about it? You think he wants to give you the money to
You think
spend?
he's really on the phone?
No.
No,
I'm doing the talking here, not you. You need to watch my back. Watch my back.
Better than your front, let me
I'm
tell
gonna
you.
push you in the back. That's what
easy
it'll
to
do.
watch.
Close your mouth. I can't wait to see what Frank's gonna react to this one. Just shut up. I'm doing the talking here.
Yeah, big
So
man.
where were we? Panama. You're looking for a partner, right?
Something like that. Look, Mr. Sosa, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. I am down on Frank's authority to buy 200 keys. That's it. That's my limit. I got no right. Nobody got no right to negotiate for
Omar, why
Frank
don't you
Lopez.
let a man finish, okay? Let him propose a proposition, and then we can talk more.
Otara, you got no authority here, okay? I started doing this fucking business, so shut the fuck
Frank is
up.
gonna love it, man. Don't worry about it.
That's up to Frank, not you! I'm sorry about this, Mr. Sosa.
Oh, it's all right. You're right. Maybe you should talk to Frank.
I'm good.
You don't think that was cute?
I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone. But as soon as I get back to Miami, I'll talk to Frank personally.
Yeah, you ain't getting back to Miami. That's the problem.
Associates here can escort you to my chopper. Chopper can take you to Santa
Chopper.
Cruz. I have a jet there. Can have you in Miami in 5 hours. You can be back here tomorrow in time for lunch.
Good. 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 Hasta mañana.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Why don't you leave your friend here? When you're gone, maybe he can tell me how to run my business.
I think Frank would like to see him.
Well, that's okay. You tell Frank I'm giving this guy an ice for him.
I guess so.
Yeah. So was he pushed or did he fall out?
Be careful who you take to meetings with you. Yeah.
Well, best scene or not? That's the question.
I don't know. That was a pretty good one. I like the scene though at the when he was Al Pacino's sidekick was teaching him how to pick up girls.
Out with it now. That one?
English, motherfucker!
Remember
Do
that
you
one?
speak it?
Yes, I do remember that one now. And then he ended
That
up
was
getting
pretty
slapped
gross,
in the face.
wasn't it? But it was funny.
He's getting slapped in the face around the pool there. Yes, I remember that scene now.
Get lost, deadbeat.
Yes. Oh, well, that was a shame to see. I prefer Say Hello to My Little Friend.
Oh, say hello to my little friend.
Yes.
That scene at the end when they had the massive fight, the gunfight.
How about you, Abe? You have a favorite scene from... That's
from Scarface?
Scarface favorite scene, Abe? Anything?
Yeah, when he just says, say hello to my little friends, and he just starts shooting up the place.
So that's another vote for Say Hello to My Little Friend. How about you, Brian? What's your favorite scene?
Let's see, Scarface. I think the pile of coke on the desk was, I guess.
Okay, and Wacky Hot Mess is also voting for that
Okay,
one, too.
so
The
I
pile
got-
of Coke on the table.
I got outvoted. You weren't turned on by that scene when he stuck his tongue out?
I'll say the hotel room scene where he takes it out on the lady. He has a second. Or the guy,
that was an intense scene with the chainsaw?
Yeah, with the chainsaw is my second favorite.
Oh, my God.
It's for utter graphic brutality. So
Yeah.
well acted, so well laid out. So it looks so real. Hollywood.
Yeah. So Brian,
well,
Brian,
I don't know now.
Brian, what are you going to do today? What are you going to be watching? You going to turn the TV on?
Yeah, I got it on at the 500 right now.
Oh, let's see what's going on in the
catch
500. Let's
We're gonna catch some of those basketball games here. Let's see.
Yeah. You're a Lakers fan, right?
Where are they at?
Are you a Lakers
No,
fan?
yeah.
So you feel pretty confident about the Lakers being able to take Phoenix out today? 'Cause this pretty much would cement the series if they win today.
Yeah, definitely. This is a big game. Yeah, so the Lakers. They kind of they concern me, of course, because you don't know if they've got it all there this year, but this will be an important one.
Doesn't seem to me that the Suns are really strong enough to handle this Lakers size. And Chris Paul is wounded. He's not himself. He's not nearly 100%. And I don't think the Suns have enough weapons. So I look for this to be maybe the Suns will squeak out another win in Phoenix. But I think the Lakers are moving on.
Yeah. I think they
then-
just surprised in that one game, but it woke up the Lakers.
Yeah. Do you think anybody can beat the Lakers in the West?
Well, you got those Utes.
Mm-hmm.
The Jazz are dangerous.
Yeah. I think the Jazz could do it if the Lakers aren't on top of their game. And if Donovan Mitchell is back to normal, that could be trouble for them. Portland, they look kind of strong. I'm worried about Denver because I'd like to see Denver win that series, but Portland, I think they might just have too much talent. Not
And that was
sure.
a good call you made about the coach of Denver. Cause,
Yeah, he is a good coach, isn't he? I like that guy.
Yeah. And he's doing a lot with a team that's not quite, well, it's not on a talent level of some of these other teams, but they play good. Play
Yeah,
well.
they lost Jamal Murray. That really hurt them because he was their number 2 guy, and he's got a lot of talent. But they've got other people that filled in, and I don't know that Portland series is going 7. I think that's going to be down to the wire. But again, the question is, does it really matter? Because they're going to have to play the Lakers, I think, next round. Whoever wins that series. So
yeah.
So we'll see. Well, we're watching Indy 500, and has anything really changed? VK is still in first.
Yeah.
Of course, all these guys, you're in first, but
Neves is
then
still at 7.
you have to go to the pit, and then you fall back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still early.
It's
Right.
It's like, how do you know if somebody can avoid a pit stop, maybe, and use that as the basis for winning? Does that ever happen? I guess it happens, right?
Only at the close.
That's happened in the past. Yeah. Sometimes the guys have, a couple of guys blew it when they didn't pit.
Right.
Yeah, they literally run out of fuel on the track, and then the guy behind them takes them. Yeah.
I saw one Indy race, and we got these highlights where it was Bobby Unser coming out of the pit stop, so he did something illegal where he passed a bunch of people when he shouldn't have passed them. It was maybe during a caution or something, and he passed 11 cars illegally, and they ended up taking the title away from him the next day and gave it to Mario Andretti. It was a big deal. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So sometimes weird things happen coming out of the pit stop, and you got to be careful not to break those rules.
Well, it's for safety purposes, for the most part. I mean, you can't be racing. People, crews members have been struck, some seriously injured, some killed.
Mm-hmm. But the rule, as I think I heard it explained, was a little bit vague. But you're supposed to blend into the traffic. You're not supposed to intentionally go by a lot of people who are all proceeding under the caution.
Correct. Oh, especially under a caution.
Yeah, it was a caution situation. Yeah. And he said, "Oh no, I didn't really mean to do that. I was just." There were, he probably said for safety purposes he sped by a bunch of people just to make sure he got onto the track, but
yeah, he didn't get it. I remember that.
Work.
It didn't work. Yeah, that's what his story. It didn't work. I remember that. Yeah, no, he pulled in aggressively. He knows better.
Mm-hmm. It's dangerous, and it's a fine line racing in terms of what you're allowed to do when you have when you have the lead and somebody's trying to come underneath you. How much blocking can you do? Do you know the rules on this stuff? Are you just allowed to move your car anywhere in front of somebody else, or is there some point where it becomes?
No. You can put if you're in front of you're in the lead. You can put your car wherever you want, and you obviously do.
But if somebody's trying to pass you, and you're allowed to move towards the inside to shrink the area that they have to go by, basically you can do anything you want.
You can until they're right next to you. Until you're going to cause a collision, then you can't. But you can up until that point, which is a very fine point.
Yeah, there have been a few races I saw.
If you're drafting behind the car and you come around the corner and you just happen to have picked up a split gram of momentum more than the car in front of you, and you pull out front, once you're along the side, you can't knock the guy off that way.
We have the one clip for I think it was the race in '92.
That'd be bad pool. The finish of 89 and
89. It was 89. That was a really close race, and
he got on the inside of
me. I think it was Little Al got
two guys
pushed,
went into turn 3,
off.
and only one was going to come out.
Yeah,
and
here it is.
It wasn't me.
And now Emo has a lap and a half.
Here we go. Here
comes
goes
Emo
pass.
on the inside. Here comes Emo. He blocks him down low.
Emo didn't
and they're
like
still
that.
side by side going into turn 3. Emo down low in the middle of the track, and Emo may have it. They almost touch
they did touch.
wheels. And into the wall is Al Jr. Emo continues on.
That was dirty.
I look to Junior's car, and he was looking to me, and when you put your head down and you want to move fast,
speed
and
racer.
you overtake someone,
Tron.
And I could see Junior was doing like this, the helmet I was doing, and I'm thinking myself, I'm not going to back off in turn 3. I'm going to take flat. And I'm sure Junior was thinking this exactly the same.
Little Al looked over to see Fittipaldi there. He kept his foot down, went into the corner, turned in, stayed well above the line.
And side by side, I lost the backhand, the car slide. I just hit out Junior, and I was lucky that I didn't crash.
And I was okay. I got out of the car and took off my helmet and I started heading out towards the track. And safety crewman, he stepped in front of me. He goes, "Al, where are you going?" I said, "I'm going out to the track." And he goes, "What? You want to flip him off?" And I went, "Yeah." Like duh. And he stepped aside. Go right ahead. And so I went out onto the track, and with the full intention of telling him and showing him exactly what I thought about what had happened. Emerson led basically the entire day. He led it, and he was coming around to get the checkered flag for his first Indy 500. It was about winning. He didn't do anything intentionally. And so I gave him thumbs up and clapped my hands and gave him thumbs up and told him that was the best slide job that anybody ever gave me.
What a good
slide
sport.
job.
Yeah, slide job. What a good sport.
Yeah, well, it was good sportsmanship. He realized it was an ambiguous situation. You could really kind of justify both guys' actions.
Well, we're at the end of another show here.
Is this the end of the show?
Yeah, it's time for our parting words here.
Okay, well, I had a great time with talking with you guys. Thank you for calling in, Brian. It's always good to hear from you, and love to have you back on whenever you can. And Wacky Hot Mess missed you. Everybody missed you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll be checking in more often again. A lot of things are going on.
Right. Well, check him out. Check his site out on Facebook at Sports Rock. It's in a very creative site he has with a lot of wonderful posts, and I know I appreciate everything you do when you post on Chab Dog Sports Primetime. And Abe Miranda, as always.
Abe, I want to call out to the new hashtag, which is all over Twitter, hashtag El Fuego.
Yeah,
the El Fuego Squad.
It's on fire, man.
It's totally on fire. Are you getting a lot of hits off that, Abe?
We
Well, let me tell you, we're on like day number 3 here with El Fuego Squad. I think it's appropriate because we just roasting everybody. But of course, I don't like to roast the Dodgers, but when they play like shit, what are you gonna do? It's like, don't play like shit. I won't roast the Dodgers. It's that simple. I want to sit here tonight and roast the Giants all day. That's my goal. Just roast the Giants. But if you're going to play like shit, I got to call you out, and that's my job. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to tell you, you either play great or you play like shit.
You are the conscience of the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. We'll praise them or punt them, but they're going to get it one way or another from
Maybe they need a little drill sergeant kick in the maybe a little
squad.
boot camp action here. Stick that toe in there. Get them thinking the right way. Straighten their minds out.
Give them a reach around.
And well, Red, thank you for another excellent production job. We got almost most of the clips in. We're going to finish with one of my favorite Doors songs, and it kind of plays on the strangeness of the last year. And maybe we're coming out of that, but
and then coming out of that, we'll go Thunderstruck.
Okay.
Since it's Thunder, the days of Thunder, days of Strange.
Okay.
Thunder. We'll start with Strange Days.
All right, everybody, have a great week. Enjoy Memorial Day, and let's have a blowout June. Really high voltage, successful, good June. Take care. Thank you. Chad Buck Sports Talk.
Strange days have found us. Strange days have tracked us down. They're going to destroy our cash. Will join. We shall go on playing or find a new town. Strange eyes fill strange rooms. Voices will sing of their tired end. The hostess is grinning. Her guests sleep from singing. Hear me talk of sin, and you know this is it. Strange days have found us, and through their strange hours we linger alone. Bodies confused, as we run from the day to a strange night of stone.
Doesn't end like this.
What do you want us to do, Hopper? We have no ships left.
We have one. We've got a battleship.
Are you crazy? That's a museum.
Not today.
This ship is 70 years old. It's totally outdated. The firing systems are all analog. The engines haven't been started in a decade, which would be fine, but there's steam, which I have no idea how to fire up. And even if I had a user's manual and 6 weeks to go through it all, we still don't have enough crew to fire it up. I don't know what you're thinking, sir.
Is everyone all right?
Yes, sir. We're okay. You men have given so much to your country, and no one has the right to ask any more of you. But I'm asking.
What do you need, son?
Need to borrow your boat.
Son?
Sir?
What the hell, you gonna stand there staring at me? Get your goddamn eye on that spotter.
Eye on spotter, sir.
Been working on a destroyer, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to play with the big boys?
Oh, yes.
Come on, we need the help.
Awesome.
Best cover your ears.
Burns like a kid.
Bridge, main control. I got 8 boilers hot. Ready to rock and roll, sir.
Are we looking on fuel?
600 long ton, sir. Just enough for a maintenance run.
Ordnance?
We stripped together what we could, sir, but it's not much.
All right, let's get her to sea. We've got work to do.
Roger that.
Engines ahead, flank.
All engines ahead, flank.
All engines ahead, flank, aye, sir.
You good?
Good, sir.
Good, sir.
Dennis, if through at 1. Center line, barrel, fire. Clear! Dennis, if through at 2. Arm! Dennis, if through at 3.
One barrel, ready to rock and roll.
Port side on.
Sir, are we really firing on the Wahoo?
Sure looks that way.
Holy shit.